The second questline of dragonflight has been unlocked. Once again, we are treated to a huge amount of information. While this story was leaked long before release, we finally get some revelations on what is really going on, and how it is not playing out how we once thought it would. Stay to the end to hear some speculation on the bigger implications. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come, take a seat by the fire. The questline The Garden of Secrets is where this all takes place, at the portal to the dream on the western edge of the Onaran Plains. The Primalists are relentless. They desire access to the dream at this very location, and as you will soon find out, it is for good reason. It was Tyrande who took the seed from Ardenweald, the one in which resides many of the Calderized souls lost at the burning of Teldrassil. They were blessed by a loon who had seemingly found a way to make sure all the souls did not die in vain. They eventually take it to Marithra, who guides them into the dreamways. Here they plant the seed. Under the protection of the dream and the green flight, they reveal that this is indeed the seed of a new world tree, that it will reside here to soak up the life-giving energies of the dream, until such a time as this can be planted in Azeroth. Once there, the tree will fall under the care of the Night Elves once more, becoming for them a new hope and a new home, the new centre of Night's elven civilization. It still, however, does not give us a location, so the speculation on this can continue. We here at the campfire believe Silithus is the most likely of the new zones. Something will eventually be done with the Great Sword, and even if we attempted to remove it, there's the problem of a great wound. The tree could serve as a perfect healing salve, especially with the Night Elf people tending to it. Perhaps that may be a little too close to S'thun, however, so only time will tell on this one. It is while the seed is slumbering within the dream that the Primalists attack the shady sanctuary and unleash their elemental devastation to gain access. During the campaign, the first Primalist assault almost breached the barrier. This time, however, they were more than prepared, and the barrier falls from an inside infiltration. It is believed that only the Dreamer herself has the power to restore it, but she died many years ago, so it falls to the Mawwalker to once again walk the dead lands of Ardenweald with Malfurion and Tyrande in an attempt to beseech Ysera, to see if there is any hope in her returning to our world. They find her in the heart of the forest, under the boughs of the great tree. While there is hope, it is as we feared. She cannot simply return. She has become bonded to Ardenweald. A small refresher for those unsure, Ysera was corrupted and subsequently killed in Val'sharah. It was her connection to Elune that allowed her to be ushered to the afterlife of Ardenweald. This is normally reserved for spirits of nature alone. At that time, however, Ardenweald was suffering from an anima drought. She would have possibly faced an eternal death had the Winter Queen not sacrificed a portion of her own power to bond with her. It is this very bond that means Ysera cannot follow the normal path of nature spirits who pass through here to be reborn. There is only one way forward, That is for someone powerful, with a deep connection to nature to bear the weight of the bond in her stead. Malfurion knows this has to be him, for there could be no one more fitting, given that it was for his life Ysera gave hers. It has to be stated here that Malfurion is not giving his life, nor is Ysera fully resurrected. This is temporary, a necessary step so that Ysera can once again serve as a protector of Azeroth. But immediately it is noticeable something is wrong. Her connection to the dream is much weaker. She cannot navigate the pathways as easily as she once did. Her power itself, however, is not dulled. Upon her return, she does indeed turn the tide. Her daughter, Merithra, she also senses the change. She comments on how the power of death surrounds her mother now, and she does not know really what that may mean. But for now, the focus must be on protecting the dream from the Primalist incursion. To do this, the Great Emerald Barrier must be restored. Then, the big reveal. Ysera is no longer the dreamer, and does not have the power to erect the barrier. It is Merithra who has continued the great work of the Green Flight, kept them together, and kept them strong. She was always the green aspect. She is the dreamer. With this knowledge, she restores the barrier, and restores order to the shady sanctuary. So, there is a lot to unpack here. While many were worried that bringing Ysera back would cheapen her death, myself included, this seems like a much better way to approach this. We have been heading into more exploration of the dream for a while now, and with the nightmare threat looming on the horizon, this is the perfect time to bring her. There are deeper implications to all of this. For the longest time, Malfurion was the quintessential druid. He was Azeroth's first official druid as we know them today. However, he never really embraced the entire spectrum of druidism. Malfurion always focused on the life aspect of druidism, and it is only in recent times, especially since the introduction of the Thorn Speakers, we have really seen the duality that was missing. This will mean a lot for the future of Malfurion's character. We here at the Campfire believe that it is this connection to death and rebirth that will play a pivotal role in the near future. With the nightmare getting closer and closer once more, and with our recent speculation on the connection of the Drust and the nightmare itself, the video of which I will link in the top right and in the description. Malfurion's newfound duality could be crucial in establishing a turning point. Just like we learned recently with the Kyrian Covenant, singular purity is not always the best way. And while we finally re-established harmony between Elune and her sister the Winter Queen, bringing life and death into balance once more, the consequences of this on druidism has yet to be felt. Once before, the Drust had been offered the chance to serve as nature's protectors by the Winter Queen. They, however, seemed uninterested, too consumed with the madness that we believe is spurred on by the old gods. However, perhaps someone with a new perspective could reach out, one who walks both sides of life and death. Perhaps then they may be more receptive. Perhaps then they may be saved. These are exciting times. We are finally moving towards the confrontation with the nightmare that has been building for such a long time. and now we have death as well as life as allies in this fight. The last major point of speculation is how will all of this change the Night Elven culture going forward? Will this newfound reverence for the great balance of life and death be spread? Could we see veneration of not just Elune, but her sister too? The one major worry is for the Malfurion fans out there. The last time Malfurion made a deal to slumber, he was gone for what, 8 real-life years? While we should not expect him to come back right away, I hope so much that it does not last as long as last time. Maybe let Ysera be back for this expansion, explore her new powers, and then bring him back? Perhaps it is during this slumber that allows us to access the deeper parts of the dream, that this is setting up for much more character development for him. I hope so. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to come back anytime.